supporting characters in your mystery. Welcome to Write a Killer Mystery. I'm Zara Altair, author and writing coach for mysteries only. So, supporting characters make your sleuth human. And you do that because you create supporting characters that are human. Your supporting characters show how your sleuth acts in the world. They're like foils to present different parts of your sleuth's character. And while suspects create the mystery, supporting characters deepen your reader's connection with your sleuth. A supporting character plays a role in the life of your sleuth, the protagonist, and they are part of the backdrop to your sleuth story. And these secondary characters are formed by their life experiences, just like your main character. So creating a rich background for each supporting character deepens their humanity. Supporting characters bring their life experiences to their interactions with your sleuth, and as the two interact, your reader experiences the humanity of both characters, and that's why your secondary characters must be as three-dimensional as your sleuth. So use your character Bible to keep track of each character's details. And the most important aspect of your character is how they move the story. It's the context they serve in the story. So define the story situation for the character while they're in the story. Know their personal conflict. And for secondary characters in a mystery, it's how the character affects the detective's attempt to solve the mystery. That's their job in your mystery novel. You need to know the character's intention. So your secondary characters have histories, thoughts, quirks, obsessions, and hobbies, and they have a backstory just like the detective does. It's essential you understand these aspects of your characters so you understand how they'll react to events in the story. The more you delve into your secondary characters' development, the better you'll understand how they will respond in a situation. This is especially true if you're a pantser or part pantser and part planner. You come up with a situation. The more you know that secondary character, the better you can make that reaction to the situation. It may be something your sleuth says or does, or it could be being locked in a dark cellar. It doesn't matter what that situation is. It's that you know enough about that character to bring out their humanity in those situations. So each secondary character's role in the mystery is to move the story forward. That's their job. And they do it through their relationship with the sleuth, or if they're in a subplot. So here's some basics to know about supporting characters. That every writer has different ways of creating characters or choosing which details go in the character background. But supporting characters serve a role in your story. So if you follow these basics as you work them into the scenes, you'll be creating realistic, interesting characters. So first off, let's make them interesting. Give them imperfections that reflect their human weaknesses. They don't need to be likable as long as they are interesting. So opposition supporting characters push your sleuth's boundaries, and even their mentor or best friend can also push your sleuth's boundaries sometimes. And you're going to need to know enough about those supporting characters to make that work and to make it seem realistic. So as you do that, as individual characters, you'll sidestep time-worn archetypes to make each situation unique. Interesting. And then just a craft detail, you want to give each character a unique name. And you start each character name in your novel with a different alphabet letter. This can get tricky sometimes. I know one time I had to change, find and replace a whole character in a story because as a supporting character, his name started with an A, and the opponent's name started with an A too. So you just want to make sure for that. So if your sleuth is named John, that's it for J. That's it. No Jim as a secondary character. Using this simple tactic really helps your reader identify each character in your story, and they don't get confused, and they remember that character when they reappear pages later. And then as you're thinking about the uniqueness of your character, you want to give them some unique dialogue. So in your character development, in your character Bible, however it is that you do the background research for your characters, as you're doing that, give them some phrases that they repeat all the time, or special way of looking at things. So when they're saying things in your story, in the dialogue, it reinforces for the reader who is speaking. And if you write them down and you keep them in your character background, you'll remember them also when you get to those places where that supporting character needs to speak. And then one other thing, this is all about making your characters as human as possible. Make them surprising. Just as you want your story to be unpredictable, you want to give your supporting characters, the people around your sleuth, you want to give them about faces and quote out of character actions. Give your readers some surprises. Oh, wait, I never thought she'd do that. You want that. You want your readers to respond to your characters. It's much more fun to read a story with an interesting character who has dichotomies than a flat character who's just kind of a placeholder. So don't be afraid to give those secondary characters some surprising actions and reactions. And you'll give your reader another reason to keep reading. So, and mainly, and this is something that's especially challenging for new writers, keep your supporting characters in context. Supporting characters are just that. They're supporting, they support the story. They react in reaction to your sleuth and to the suspects. And these actions, the dialogue, their thoughts and opinions must move the story forward. So it's easy to fall in love with a supporting character. I know, it's just like some of them you really, really like and you love writing about them. But you just have to remember what their context is in the story so you don't get carried away. So always check that your supporting character is moving the story forward. If you're going off on a tangent about that supporting character, it's time to cut that part out. That's just how it is. That's part of what they call killing your darlings. And it is, I know it happens to me, it is easy to really like a supporting character and you want to tell your reader all about them, but it just isn't necessary for this story. Supporting characters are the people of your mystery. They build the world around your sleuth. So they have, every secondary character has a character arc, a strong point of view, and clear personality traits. If you just kind of keep those three things in mind, I think you're going to be okay with creating those secondary characters, because the reader likes those things and it gives them a sense of humanity, and they're like, they recognize those characters. They go, oh, I know someone just like that. That's the way they behave. So when you follow the basics to create and use a supporting character, you'll avoid flat characters if you just work on the dimensions of that character. So use their actions and their conversations to contribute to the world building and the character development and plot escalation in your novel. Your reader will remember your characters, how they help or hinder your sleuth, and how they enjoyed reading your mystery. So that's it for today, and I just want to have a little side note. I had some surgery this week, so little cancer thing is gone, but I got a wound. If you're wondering why I have a bit um, wound dressing on my nose, that's the reason. So, and then I wanted to tell you that this week I'm holding live office hours with the students in Write a Killer Mystery. And we do that so they can ask questions, I can answer them, and other students can chime in and have responses to the questions as well. It's very fun. So if you're thinking about writing a mystery, you might want to check out Write a Killer Mystery. It's a course designed just for people who want to write a mystery. So the description's in the link below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little notification bell so you won't miss an episode of Write a Killer Mystery. See you next time.